I'm Bruce Campbell, and today I brought a 1951 Alfa Romeo. It's a 1900 CSS Touring. It's built by a guy named Andreloni, who worked for a company called Touring in Milano. In those days, these cars were handmade way before production cars were made by Alfa Romeo. And so they were all made the same as Ferraris were made, one at a time. Usually went to a bodybuilder. This one to Touring, sometimes to Zagato, sometimes to Ghia, things like that. I bought this car from Martin Swig in 1962, and he had raced it, and he had two of them, and he luckily let me have one of them. Drove it a little bit like that for a while, and then I decided to restore it, and I took it to Nino Epifani in Berkeley, and Nino restored it, and we took it to Pebble Beach, and it won a prize at Pebble in the touring class. And when I was there, one of the things that was interesting is I bought this car, and it had no windscreen in it when I bought it. It was missing, I think, one of the wire wheels. And somewhere in Fresno, there was a guy who had another body. These were hard to find even then. And so I bought the body of the other car for one of the wheels and the windshield. And while we were restoring the car, I noticed that the wooden steering wheel had a crack in it. And so I took the wooden steering wheel down to somebody that I knew and had him restore it. And we put the wooden steering wheel on in order to show it at Pebble. And when it was at Pebble, Mr. Andreloni, the guy who designed the car, came up to me after the show, and he said, in very broken Italian, he said, "You know, Mr. Campbell, you're a very lucky man." I said, "Yeah, thank you very much. I love the car." And he said, No, not the car, the steering wheel. He said, "We only made 20 of those steering wheels, and they were all for our show cars." I had no idea that the car that I had taken apart was actually a show car. And so this car had a steering wheel on it from the Geneva show car. So I've had this car for probably 45 years. I drive it a lot. I show it once in a while, but it doesn't like to be polished anymore. It prefers to be driven. And I take it on events like the California Mille and the Colorado Grand and things like that. We just came back from the Pebble Beach tour, which went from Seattle all the way down to Pebble Beach, 1,200 miles. Didn't have one problem with the car.